I'm so scared it's gonna just like all come out. Maybe a little bit more. Oh, and of course it happens. Hi, my name is Steven Yen. I work at Microsoft, and I will be making a traditional Taiwanese beef noodle soup. The beef that you usually want to use is called beef shank. So we're just going to take this beef and chop it up. So I am making this dish because growing up Asian American, my mom used to always make it, and it just really reminds me of home. It kind of connects me back to my roots. And I just feel like I'm at home whenever I eat it. So the next step is that you want to blanch the meat. Basically, you just throw all of this that you just cut up into that boiling hot water. You want to boil it. I don't even know how long. I just kind of wait until there's all this stuff that comes out. So when it comes to straddling two cultures, I think that really plays out in my cooking, and particularly this it's supposed to be a traditional Taiwanese dish. However, I don't think that most Taiwanese people would prepare it this way. I know my mom in particular probably would watch this and be like, I mean, it's okay. There's probably some things that you can do better, but you tried. Now as the beef is blanching, we're gonna cut our wonderful veggies. I would say the staples are just onion, garlic, and ginger. I don't even like ginger. I think ginger tastes awful, but for some reason, it's just something that's in a lot of Asian dishes, so I just kind of throw it in there for the kicks. Whenever I'm in Taiwan, my relatives will just force food down my throat because food in an Asian culture kind of equates to love. Whenever I'm eating my mom's home-cooked food, I just feel so loved. And it's just the most amazing experience, I feel to feel love through cooking. I usually just use an entire 1 or 2 garlics. And out of the 3 rooted veggies over here, I don't really care that much about the onions. I definitely don't care about the ginger, but garlic is something you really have to have. As you can see, we've been blanching this meat for a little bit, and there's just some of this foam that's forming on the top. It doesn't smell the greatest, but it will smell great later. So don't you worry. So now comes the fun part. We have our beef, and then we can start adding in the spices and start making our soup. And so now we're just gonna throw all of these ingredients inside the pot. And I usually like to start out with soy sauce. You want to make sure that everything is generally coated and it has a nice brown color. You see this piece here, it's nicely coated by soy sauce. Add in a little bit of this black bean sauce. Next, your tomato paste. We're just gonna add all of this. Boop. We'll water it down later with the chicken stock. Next, I'll probably just throw in these vegetables. You can just kind of and then next you want to throw in your 5 spice. This is quite a bit more than what I wanted, so I'm just gonna gently try to coat the top. I'm just gonna give it a little stir. Start heating it up, and then you lastly want to add the chicken stock. And so I just added about 2 cups or 3 cups in there. So now we're just gonna simmer it for about 2 hours. Growing up as an Asian American is a little bit tricky because for example, one of the obvious things as a first-generation immigrant is that your parents are usually speaking in Mandarin, at least as it is for me. So they're usually speaking in a different language. The first time I actually started speaking English was not from my parents, but from my other friends and from media, specifically TV. And so it's interesting to grow up in a place where you're kind of straddling your 2 identities because you just don't really know how to identify sometimes. So it's been an hour and a half later, and so this has been simmering for a while, and we want to throw in the noodles there. And so usually I would have a separate pot of water just to boil the noodles in there, but I'm lazy, and so I'm just gonna boil the noodles just straight inside here. Just take our noodles. We're just gonna add this chicken stock to thin it down a little bit. Or you want to get the noodles under the soup and then you'll just bring it to a boil. I kind of just like wait to see when it's soft and ready to eat. Yeah, they're ready. Gonna plate it. Yay! All right, there it is. There's the beef noodle soup that we've made. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next one. It's not like my best job, it's a little bit salty. You know, I think it's not too bad. I eat this for like a few days straight.